You know, it's not easy. Scammers are always coming up with new creative ways to swindle your money, but we have some tips to make sure you are one step ahead of the scammer.
A tragedy or an emergency or a crisis such as what's happening in Ukraine right now happens, unfortunately, the scammers do come out.
News of the war in Ukraine triggering a bevy of fake charity websites preying on your generosity. Here are just a few examples ESET researchers spotted. Heartfelt appeals that say they need your help, but they really just want your hard-earned money. You can't stop cyber criminals, but Laura Blankenship from the Eastern Michigan Better Business Bureau shows us some easy ways to spot the scams.
Something you have to think of as well. Can the charity get to the impacted area? Sometimes people want to send clothing and food, but you have to find out, is that realistic right now? Is that actually going to get to them right now?
Laura says find out if the charity has workers in the impacted or war-torn region. When it comes to donating overseas, she says try to avoid crowdfunding or GoFundMe accounts where the money goes to a person instead of a charity. It may look like a familiar, established organization, but look closely. Scammers could take one word out in order to dupe you into donating. Laura says before you pull out that debit card, do your research.
BBB has something called the Wise Giving Alliance. You can go to give.org and you can look up a charity there and find out the legitimacy. But you can also go to Charity Navigator. That's a great way to find out whether or not the charity is legitimate.
Be wary of anyone or any site that asks you to wire money or send gift cards. Be skeptical of social media posts unless you already contacted the organization to verify it's legit. And look for signs that the site itself is safe.
You want to make sure that at the top of the page that it says that it's secure. There's a lock symbol. There's an HTTPS because that S stands for secure. You want to make sure there's working links and that there is an address or contact information.
Right, good advice there. And if you suspect something isn't right, just contact the charity directly. That'll answer your question. If it doesn't feel right, though, it probably isn't. Monica?
Yeah, that's so true. But luckily, there are so many websites that already do sort of the vetting work for you.
Yeah, and she mentioned it too. Charity Navigator, I went on there, charitynavigator.com. They actually rate the nonprofits when it comes to being transparent and financially efficient. So it really gives you the control right there to be able to do this, and figure out what's right for you, where you want to donate, and whether it's safe.
All right, great advice. Thanks, Taryn.